Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is one half of the American rock band Garrett. Please welcome Nanette. Hello, Nanette.
Hello, Allie. Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Thank you for coming on. Now, who is the other half of Garrett?
That would be my husband, William Garrett, and he plays guitar and also sings, and he writes most of the lyrics and music that we have on our songs that we're putting out.
Okay. Now, you talk about Garrett is the musical culmination of a cosmic romance of cinematic scope and proportion. What exactly does that mean to you?
Well, I actually didn't write that, so it was someone that had listened to our music and heard our backstory and come up with that.
Okay. Well, it's kind of a good description. It's one I've never heard before.
Yeah, pretty mind-blowing description.
Yeah.
It's just that we're veteran rockers. We've been around the block a time or two.
Yeah.
And
actually, tell me about that. Like, tell me when you guys started out and everything.
Yeah, we started out as far as knowing each other and being together as far as musicians together. Back in the late 80s, we were in a cover band together, and it was one of my first or second cover bands that I was ever in. And we're young, doing all the clubs. We're from North Carolina, but we would play, in various states and, mostly in North Carolina, but a few states and stuff, and playing covers, doing the 3 1-hour sets and all that stuff, that doesn't really go anywhere, but you're getting your experience and you're getting your, work under you that will hopefully influence how you write music. And we did that for a while, and then that band broke up, and basically I didn't see him again because we lived in different towns in eastern North Carolina. And I didn't see him again till almost a lifetime. I got married. He got married. I had a daughter. Got in another band. That my husband and I then had a band called Snakes and Angels, and we played and did original music, put out 2 CDs. He decided to form an original band of his own where he did like blues and blues rock, and he put out a solo CD, and then our cross passed again, in 2004. I was, my first husband passed away from cancer.
Yes, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, and it was a lot of stuff, like I said, a whole lifetime went by, basically had, a daughter and husband, and then he passed away, and then I decided, I'm not giving up on my dream. I'm going to keep going, I'm going to find a guitar player. And being in a small town, there's not that many musicians, it's not like you're in a major metropolitan town where there's, musicians everywhere. So it was pretty slim pickings around this area. So I put up a notice on a music store, and then I saw a notice that he had where he was looking for someone. And I was like, oh, William's still doing it too, after all these years. So maybe I'll give him a call and see, if he wants to get together. So that's what happened. He came over, and initially we just, we're doing the Snakes and Angels still, and he was playing guitar with us. And then we decided, hey, well, let's just write some originals and change the name, since, it's basically the two of us doing something new. And when we first got together, it was just platonic. It was just, musicians in a band, writing music together. And after about maybe 4 or 5, practices or something, out of the blue, William says, we're going to end up getting married one day, don't you? I mean, out of the blue. That was what he said to me, and I was like, whoa.
That's funny. Well, it worked. He was right.
Yeah, it worked. It definitely worked, and wow, it's been a while since that happened. That was 2004, and so we got married in 2005, and then in 2006 we had twin boys.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
It's quite an adventure it has been.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, you guys, it's kind of like a blend of 70s style arena blues rock, seasoned with kind of everything that you guys have gone through.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, we both have so much 70s influenced rock and roll and bluesy rock, that's the kind of style we both write in, is that stuff that's influenced by Fleetwood Mac, REO Speedwagon, Styx, Journey, Heart, Kansas, Kiss,
All,
Robin Trower,
all,
Peter Frampton. I mean, just
all the
all
greats.
the good
Yeah.
70s melodic rock, and
Fleetwood
some
Mac
that went
is,
into the 80s as well.
yeah, and I'm like a huge Fleetwood Mac fan. I wanted to be Stevie Nicks when I grew up.
Oh yeah. Oh
Now,
yeah, definitely.
let's talk about Robin Trower because he is one of William's biggest guitar influences.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Eh,
When I met William, I didn't even know who Robin Trower is, and I'm so surprised because there's so many people that still don't know who Robin Trower is. He's a very underrated guitarist,
mm-hmm.
but he's a phenomenal guitarist, and he's still touring, and he's in his 70s. William and him actually share the same birthday, March 9th. They're both born on March 9th, and it's so incredible that who your biggest influence is happens to have the same birthday. I don't
Yeah.
think that happens very often.
You
And
know,
we've met him a few times as well.
and and then you've done a cover of Bridge of Sighs. And I mean,
Oh yeah.
that, as soon as you hear Bridge of Sighs, even just saying it, you should know who Robin Trower is. But
Yeah.
like you said, he is very underrated. I just listening to you talk, it's like fate and destiny has played such a big role in your lives. I mean, you started out, playing together and then, you kind of went your separate ways. You got married. He, did his thing. And then you guys come back together. And now, I mean, great music is happening, but also love and children. And then talking about Robin Trower, and then all of a sudden, he's got the same birthday as William. Like, it's just like there's so many fate, destiny things happening. It's just,
Oh yeah.
wow, it's just
Yeah.
crazy. Now,
And also, I'm sorry to interrupt, but also one of our sons we actually named after him. And we met, William had already met him like 2 or 3 times. And the first time that I met Robin Trower, I was like 9 months pregnant with twins. So I was big as a house, and we had already decided when we found out they were boys, we had already decided on their names. And we told him that was one of the boys' names. So honored and so sweet and nice, and just he said that was the first time anyone had ever named a child after him, and he was so wonderful. And we had the ultrasound with us, and he signed it to Robin, my little mate, love Robin. And it is just something that hopefully that one day you'll treasure that as much as we do.
Yeah, no kidding. That is so cool. There's just a little bit of technical things going on, but it still sounds great, so I'm just going to keep going.
Okay.
Now, you are in the process of recording a new CD, right? With veteran drummer Jason Patterson?
Yes.
And
We've been working on that a couple of years because we don't live near a studio, so we have to get in there whenever we get a chance. And with twin boys and in school and stuff, it's not fairly often. So like we went today and laid down some tracks, and Jason's been working with us the last couple of years laying down his drum parts. So we've basically got most of the material done as far as what you call them bed tracks, the rhythm tracks, and we're just going in there, William and I go in there when we can and lay down, bass lines or guitar lines, and then do the vocal parts, and then work on mixing and mastering and all the fun stuff.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, at least you're getting together at some point because you guys make great music. Now, you've released 2 singles, The Island and Hero.
Yeah, we've released those. We also released Save Your Love, which was a tribute to September 11th that William had recorded on his solo CD, and we decided to re-record that with, I do the vocals on that one. and we released that, and also the Bridge of Sighs cover, and then Destiny. But we only have the Island and Hero out as far as on Spotify and iTunes and all the different formats, and we're going to work on getting the rest of them done as well. And we're got a few people we're talking with. They're going to do some lyric videos for us, and hopefully next year we're going to try to make a video for the Island, because the Island is such a fun, powerful summer love song, and it was written about here in North Carolina. There's an island called Ocracoke. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or
No.
not. It's a big tourist destination. It's gotten quite big over the last 20 or 30 years. It's up there with in the top 10, I think.
Wow.
It's a very small island, but in the summer it's just booming, and we're hoping to do some kind of maybe drone footage or something of the actual island and stuff in the videos. So that's what we're hoping for next year.
That'll be cool. Okay, so now in your bio, because I have it in front of you, it says that you, like, Garrett is a testament to what's possible when you don't give up on your dreams. And it totally is. Like I said, it's a beautiful story. Regardless, the music alone is gorgeous. I'm absolutely in love with it. But your story is also very, very, I'm a sappy romantic person. So when I read it, I was like, oh my God. So I love your story. Now, also, Hero was #1 in the Radio Indie Alliance charts for the week of June 5th, 2017, from a station in Missouri. And then it was also in the top 10 in the UK last year in its first week of release.
Yes, the Radio Indie Alliance is really cool. I mean, I didn't even know anything about it, until last year, and then I think we've been in it 4 or 5 times. I'm having trouble trying to keep up with it, because I try to do all the social media stuff myself and all the promotion, and then trying to keep up with, any kind of charts and stuff that we're doing, as well as, driving back and forth to the studio.
To the studio, yeah, and 2 twin boys.
Boys.
Or 2 twin boys. Yeah, it would be crazy. I can't imagine your schedule. Now, because you've been in the industry for a while, Lynette, both you and William, and you've been in different bands and cover bands and everything, if you had any advice to give a new artist that was just starting out, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, there's so much more out there than there was when we were first beginning. I mean, it's just even in the last 4 or 5 years, it's the internet itself has so many avenues that if you're into research and development, which I was always into researching even before computers were out. I love to read. I love to dig around in books, and now it's that way on the computer. So if you can dig around, you can find radio stations, you can find promoters, you can find so many people that can help you, because I would have never met you ever if there hadn't been a computer,
Yeah.
It's like all the people that I'm meeting, DJs or, people that write magazine articles, different journalists and stuff. I mean, there's no way I would have even met any of the fans that we have, because, we have fans in Australia and London, Canada, California, all the different states, even Canary Islands. It's crazy where we have fans, and I would have never, met them. So all I can say is just keep being persistent, practice your craft, and use the internet for what it's there for in a positive way, and just don't give up, because it's easy to have a day, where you get anxiety or depressed or think, bad thoughts. I think that's normal for a lot of people, and everybody has those days. Just pick yourself up and just keep going and do the best you can, and look for everything that's out there that can put you up another step on the ring, on the ladder, and keep going.
Yeah, and that's great advice. And yes, social media, thank God for social media now for indie artists. And thank God for all of the supporters of indie artists now.
Oh, yeah.
There's like more and more and more coming every day, and you can kind of see the industry starting to shift a little bit, because you hear the same kind of people over and over, whether you're listening to country, whether you're listening to rap, whether you're listening to rock, whether you're listening to pop, they all sound the same.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
I think a lot of people, because they are finding these artists on social media and they're realizing, hey, that doesn't sound like anything else. And I really like that. I think it's going to start really, really changing. I mean, my fingers are crossed because I am such a huge supporter of indie. I have been for years. So I'm
yeah.
happy. And I'm happy that I get to help promote as much as possible. Um, what two songs are we going to hear from you, Nanette?
We're going to hear our song that was written for our military, for the troops, whether they're veterans or soldiers that are still active, and even those who gave their lives, called Hero.
Mm-hmm.
And also our love song that we recorded, that we wrote about us, and actually wrote it back before we were even married. We were doing a showcase in New York City, and it was like a singer-songwriter type thing, so it was just acoustic guitar and the two of us, and we wrote it in the hotel before we played that night.
Oh my goodness.
So that
Wow.
was like out of the blue. He wrote his verse, I wrote my verse, and then we both wrote the chorus together and performed it. I'd love to have that on video, but of course I don't.
Aw, that would be
But
wonderful. But yeah, and the song is called
Destiny.
Destiny. Yeah. And it encompasses both of you so well. It's not even funny. Um, you can get your music, like you said, Spotify, all over online. Reverb Nation, people can find you on Twitter, on Facebook. I urge everybody to follow them and sample all the new music that's coming from them because it's just once you hear it, you'll understand what I'm talking. It's great music. I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day and your crazy schedule and coming on my show. And it's not a one-shot deal. Anything new happens or anything new singles, you know how to get a hold of me. And I wish you guys the best. And I just like all the success in the world to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Allie. This has been a wonderful pleasure after being at the studio and just trying to chill out. And the boys are actually being pretty good up there.
Oh, that's
But,
good.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers!